Thank you all for being here. Very, very happy new year to everybody. I'm sure we still get a few people trekking in slowly, gradually. Last year's been very, very hectic, and I hope that this year will be even more hectic as compared to what we were even last year, because we hosted the conference over here, which people still remember very fondly. I'm also very happy to welcome our young Skål members here. So thank you for joining us and welcome. I hope you enjoy being with us as much as we love having you with us. So thank you. Please sit down. What I'd like to do is, before we actually formally start, because it's the first time in the year, and I think we all know the speaker, but the speaker doesn't know us. So I think it's just nice if we pass the mic around, and maybe all of you can just introduce yourself and maybe in 1 minute give a little background about what you're doing in the trade, in the company, so that we can everybody comes to know you, right?
The pleasure of doing a short intro, and like I said, I'm delighted to welcome Shivkala Leela Sukumaran, an award-winning entrepreneur, mentor, trainer, and our Spotlight series. We are happy to have you, ma'am, amongst us today. She brings with her 23 years of experience. She is the founder of Things, etc., which will come up on the board a little later. Act Talks, and co-founder of Wulu, which was a very, very noble idea and way ahead of its time. And that was the first venture, and she was truly the first one to cater to that. Then came all the movies and all the other things talking about women's sanitary. Nevertheless, she was the one who introduced Wulu, India's first women's hygiene initiative, a recipient of the Maharashtra Gaurav Purashkar 2024 and Niti Aayog's top 100 women entrepreneurs. She continues to inspire through impactful social initiatives, and it's my pleasure, ma'am. The stage is yours.
Quite loud, I think.
Yeah. Okay, go for it.
Sure. So thank you so much, everyone, for this opportunity. It really feels like home, because 23 years while I was in the corporate, I was handling admin, travel desk, schedules, hotels. So the industry that you all come from, I'm sure we would have worked at some point of time together. So auto riders, for sure, I know. I worked with them. I used to do the bookings with Standard Chartered Bank when I was working with them. So
they're still our client.
Oh, very nice. So in today, what we are, I'll just come to the topic. Yeah. So this has been, Jason has just introduced about me, 23 years corporate and 12 years being an entrepreneur, working with artisans, NGOs, the self-help groups across country, and then done more than 200 plus sessions for corporates, trained around 10,000 plus students, entrepreneurs, new generation entrepreneurs, or globally and within India. All things POSH. How many of you know that about POSH? As business owners, I guess everybody knows. POSH is something that is mandatory. Any organization, even with 2 people, can have a POSH policy in place. I'll come to what POSH is about for the youngsters out here. When you cross 10 or 10 plus team members, POSH becomes a mandatory compliance like ESI, CPF. Okay. POSH is a short form. It means Prevention of Sexual Harassment. It is a law under the Constitution of India, and when the Constitution heading for POSH states as prevention of sexual harassment against women at workplace, Prevention, Protection and Redressal Act of 2013. When it started off, it was mainly focusing on women, and the law came into existence only in 2013. It happened because a lady who was working for an NGO was stationed at Rajasthan, and she was supposed to stop the child marriages there. And when she went to stop that, unfortunately she was raped by the men of the family. And that's how, then like the Nirbhaya case, everything was highlighted, and then we had the POSH law which came into existence only in 2013. Now initially it was women centric. Over a period of time, COVID best example that we saw, workforce, work schedules and workplaces changed for people. Workforce change. Now we see that in your respective industries, you see women drivers, you see in the hospitality industry we have more men coming in, reception also, or the front desk also has men. Salon industry has got men now. So over a period of time things have changed. And now the law, though it is, the amendment has not officially happened, but the law covers all genders. And the reason that I highlighted this particular slide, initially when the law came, men never complained, because people thought that if I complain, log kya kahenge? If there was, say, Jason to complain about me that Shivkala being my senior, she's doing something which is not acceptable, people would laugh at it. क्या कर रहे हो? मर्द होके तुम औरत से डर रहे हो? क्या रोता है लड़की जैसे? See, when we hear the word sexual harassment, the first thought, what does it come to your mind? Woman, somebody has done something physical in nature which is unacceptable, right? Now POSH is no longer only sexual in nature. Sexual harassment, though the word is there, it is no longer only sexual in nature. All of you have teams, right? And you have larger teams. You have vendors. The team otherwise, irrespective, you have a permanent employee, somebody in internship, a trainee, outsourced staff, everybody is covered under the POSH law in India. Even your vendors who come to your office are covered. So, like I said, it's all genders, male, female, third gender, everybody is covered under the POSH law. And I'm so happy that now 54% of the POSH cases that we get are raised by men. Men have got vocal about it. The law in India is always being soft cornered to women. But we see a lot of fake cases coming up by women. And there is a process that is, so this number is, I'm so, like when we check on, what's happening in the industry and stuff. So POSH is no longer only male to female. It can be male to male, it can be female to female, it can be female to male, which is the highest nowadays, by the way. For the youngsters, when you are in an internship, you should know that you are also covered under the POSH law. Now, why do we talk about POSH so much? Every person who comes to work, who joins the team, comes with 3 backgrounds. One is their family background, कि हमारे घर में लड़कियां काम पे नहीं जाती हैं, हम strict हैं. I cannot raise my voice and speak. We have to have pallu. This is the background that we come. Though we are all right now in Mumbai, we have changed, evolved over a period of time. But still, when we go to our natives, when we meet our relatives, our buzurg, we still follow those patterns. So that's one, our family background. Second is the background, the office background that they come from. कि मेरे पुराने ऑफिस में ना ये सब नहीं होता था, यहाँ पे कुछ नया है. वाउचर्स तो हमें हर रोज जाके देते थे तो मिल जाता था, आपके यहाँ पे 15 दिन में एक ही बार मिलता है या महीने में एक ही बार मिलता है. That background. And third is the background as a human being, your individual personality. 3 very important backgrounds that people come with when they join your team. Any behavior that a person has, as say for example, if you take Mumbai, we are all in Mumbai right now. मुंबईकर का हक है कि गाली देके बात करना. हमें कुछ पसंद भी आता है तो then we have a slang coming in. We like something and we say, oh fuck, this is so good. We never used to use this when we were younger, but now that's the trend. Anything that you want to describe, the adjective is a slang.
So what constitutes harassment?
So these are, so I will come to that. Okay. So even when, so though we know that things are wrong, still by our nature, by the backgrounds that we come, we are so used to talking in a particular way. We have eyeballs rolling. So women are, we are trained in a way that though we are looking straight, we have a 180-degree view. We know somebody is staring at us. We know if there is a hand coming and trying to touch us. I don't know how many of you have gone into a local train which is really crowded. Right? Even if it is crowded, when we go, we know that the bodies touch. Right? But we don't feel uncomfortable there. But in that Gardi wala train, there would be one touch that really makes us uncomfortable. Now this, I am talking about the train. There would be somebody in your family. That person comes near you, there's a discomfort that happens. So POSH is no longer only sexual in nature. The very existence of that person in the same vicinity also makes you uncomfortable. People have double meaning talks. Nowadays very coolly they say we have healthy flirting. In team like yours, where you have larger teams, you'll have people putting hands on the shoulder, which is okay. I always say, जब तक आपके ग्रह ठीक है, this is all fine. जिस दिन ग्रह पलट गए आपके, the other person says, yeah, enough. And then another common thing that we do is we have colored remarks. ए कालिया, कौन वो मोटी, वो साड़ी में जो घूमती है. These are remarks that I get. These are the descriptions that people say about me. Like that we do it for others also, unknowingly. In POSH, things are never black and white. There is always a grey area to it. The intent is not important here. Because if I am friendly to Jason, we talk, we are very good friends. Every day I call him by some name or I pat him on the back. I don't have my limits because I'm so used to that particular pattern with Jason. But if he is in a gathering and if I call him by some name which humiliates him, he will tell me, please, right? And if he raises a concern, what will I say? मैंने ये सोच के कभी नहीं बोला था, right? हाँ, हम तो रोज बात करते हैं. आज क्या हो गया उसको? He is in a bad mood, that's why he is retaliated, or he is raised a concern. It becomes a pattern for us. So with your team members, you will see these patterns very commonly. And most of you are in the travel industry, you will have your team members going to your client's place. How do you protect them? And mind you, when you say that you are POSH compliant, it's a different way that the client also starts looking at you. That you are considerate about your team members, irrespective. You are giving the right salary on time, you're the best in the industry, that's all fine. Now what else? Because this plays a very important role in the mental health of your team members. People may not retaliate or raise a concern immediately. And the highest ratio is with men. कि बोल दिया तो लोग क्या कहेंगे, लड़की जैसे रोता है, why are you complaining? New team members when they come in, everybody loves their job. मैं कुछ बोल दूंगी या बोल दूंगा तो नौकरी चली जाएगी, ठीक है यार, that person. So concerns that comes to us are with people who are your best performers, senior members of the team. Because most of them feel that ये चलता है. What's the big deal about it? अभी तक चल रहा था, जरूरी नहीं कि आगे भी चलेगा. So the concern here when you say that you are a POSH compliant organization, it means that you promote safe workplaces. If you are going for an IPO, this is one of the very important things. If you have an international client or even a bigger client in India itself, if you can highlight this, like how we have the best workplaces award. Same is the case with POSH. Because POSH, again I'm saying, it's no longer only sexual in nature. It's the culture that you're trying to build, making the society a better place. Because we all know, सबको पता है कि झूठ बोलना गलत बात होती है, but हम कभी ना कभी झूठ बोलते हैं. The same way, we know that harassment or bullying or commenting is wrong. Still we try to do it because it's become a habit. So promoting this as a safe workplace is of utmost importance. Boosting of employee morale. Again, most of the time, it's how the mental health is affected of employees. We've recently had a case, a generic thing that just started off with commenting. The male person ended up in the hospital trying for a suicide attempt. Because over a period of, and he's been one of the oldest team members in the organization. But over a period of time, he just kept things inside, and again family issues all together, one day it just came out. Reputation with your clients, existing clients, you can send out a mail that you are POSH compliant right now, and there for compliance, this you would see with younger team members now, because they know their rights, they know somebody will listen to them. Because younger team members most of the time stay silent when they know that they will be heard. What happens is, when you would currently have maybe an internal committee or an HR who handles these kind of concerns. Most of the time, the HR or the IC, or rather the HR, plays the role of a counselor. It's not their job. You're not certified to be a counselor. But we've come up with our own gyan, which may have a reverse effect. When you're hiring new talent, if you say you are POSH compliant, people look at that in a very respected way. I'm sure you all are very senior members out here. You know that it's a mandatory compliance that you need to do. Otherwise, there's a fine which starts at 50K. And now, because of cases that have happened in very well-known banks, financial institutions which have come onto the papers and stuff, the government takes it very seriously now. And POSH calendar year is from Jan to December. And you have to file your returns in the Jan of the next year. So 2025 returns will be filed in Jan 2026. Like I said, it's a mandatory thing. But training and being an expense, people wait for the last minute. कि कुछ होगा तभी देखेंगे. जब तक ग्रह ठीक है तब तक ठीक है. This is about the POSH. Any doubts, any sharings that you would like to do? I would
ask the question of what constitutes harassment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Harassment.
See, harassment. So, like I said, everybody has got their own nature. Every city also has got their own nature. The Mumbai में भी गाली दे के बात कर लो आराम से, है ना? जो टू व्हीलर चलाता है वो जो चलते हैं उनको गाली देता है, रिक्शा वाला टू व्हीलर को गाली देता है, कार चलाते हैं वो रिक्शा वाले को देता है. सो दैट हायरार्की इज देयर. कुछ हुआ, गाली दिया, निकल गए, हमारी भड़स निकल गई. But we don't do this at home. We talk it up. What constitutes to harassment is the nature. First, see, everybody builds a good culture in the organization. As office bearers, you have a certain culture. But among the team members, the background that they come with constitutes to this harassment. And it's a very silent harassment. It's not something कि किसी के साथ झगड़ा हो गया या कुछ हो गया. It's bullying, commenting. We don't even know our boundaries. We had one case where a new mother, after her maternity leave, she joined at work. Being a new mother, she was concerned कि घर पे बच्चा है, उसने दूध पिया है कि नहीं. Her own physical changes were happening. very परेशान. तो किसी ने उसको ऑफिस में पूछा, छोटे बच्चे ने सोने नहीं दिया कि बड़े बच्चे ने? किसी की नई शादी हो जाती है, they come back from their honeymoon, everybody. तो फिर कैसे था, क्या किया? That's none of our business, no. We don't realize that we are invading their personal space. हम ऐसे ही मजाक में बोल देते हैं. We ask them, क्यों बोला? ऐसे. There's no reason. It's just चलता है, that attitude. जैसे हम रास्ते पे यहाँ पे थूकते हैं. We see people spitting. When we go out of India, do we do that? The same people would not do it.
And if you tell anyone, why you're doing that, especially these taxi ones, फोन करके मारते हैं, नहीं चले जा अपना काम कर.
That is the culture that they have come. They feel it's okay. But जब वो दूसरे देश जाते हैं, they would not do this. Nobody is coming and stopping them. But उनको खुद को लगता है शर्म आती है. So when you have and these are all unwritten rules. ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए कि इधर लिखा नहीं है. But ये ऐसा कर सकते हैं, ये भी तो नहीं लिखा है. So, like I said, there is always a gray area to it. हर चीज सही या गलत नहीं होता है. ये क्यों किया, ये जाना जाता है. And what is the impact that has caused? If I have done something that has hurted somebody, then I need to justify why I did that.
My next question is, while we talk about POSH and filing your POSH every year, do you have like a guideline or a checklist
Yes.
of what all are the elements that constitute
Okay.
this? And then you have an audit committee and
Yeah.
you have a team that will analyze each case
Yes.
and then close it.
Yeah.
So So that there is
I'll tell you how the compliance thing works. So in POSH, what constitutes the POSH compliance is first is your awareness session. That once a year is mandatory for all your team members. Okay. Second is your IC commissioning, your internal complaints committee commissioning and their training. Because IC is the heart of compliance of POSH. Because these are again your team members only who are the whistleblowers. If they get a complaint against a senior person in their organization or maybe even their reporting manager, how do you deal with that? And the IC committee constitutes of a presiding officer, which is mandatorily a female, who's not the director or the owner of the organization, a senior member. Seniority means by maturity, by the number of years or service that she has had in your company. So she understands the whole culture and the background. Then is your committee members, which is a male or a female or both females, either or. And then is an external member. So for a lot many companies, I am the external member because I do not know the company, I do not know the people, the team members. I am neutral. The biggest challenge that the IC has is to look at a case very neutrally. Like how a doctor operates, the doctor operates the ailment, not the person. Right?
I always keep the person or the effect.
No, but in your case, maybe that's the modality that you practice. Otherwise, when you're operating,
Operation table, yeah.
irrespective the person is a family member or a friend, you're treating the ailment.
You don't know the face of the person also. When you meet him outside, you don't know. You just see knocked out on the table.
Correct. So you're treating the ailment here, right? The same way, the IC team members, the biggest challenge is to treat the concern. But as human beings, we look at, वो तो मेरा reporting manager है, और he or she is being in the company for so long, कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ है, पहली बार हो रहा है. So that's the concern. After that, then you have the IC meetings also that are done quarterly. It is recommended that quarterly meetings are held, but it's not written by law. Why we recommend quarterly meetings is if there is a behavioral concern, then that can be stopped before something happens. So like a preventive measure. And then year end, you do the compliance part. So all these things are documented, photographs are taken, your MOMs are done, and then you do the annual returns filing with the collector's office. So this is the compliance part. I hope I answered your question.
What about misuse of this?
Oh yeah.
How does one know whether it is correct? I mean, whether it's
Sure.
actually happened or not happened?
Sure.
Or is somebody just getting back at that
Sure.
person?
Sure. So if there is a case that comes in, which is registered with the IC team, there is a process that is followed. Once you get the complaint and then you get the respondent's response, then the IC team sits with an incident report. It's as good as your FIR charge sheet that you see in movies or with the police. Kab hua? What happened? Who said what? Who was around? What were the exact words used? Why did you do it? So very specific questions are asked. In that incident reporting and investigation, we come to know whether it's a fake complaint or is it actual complaint. See, when you sit across the table, I ask you certain questions where you have to only answer in yes or no. It gets very difficult for people. We start telling stories. ऐसे हुआ था, नहीं क्या हुआ था पता है, ये पहले ऐसा किया. When you ask specific questions, it makes people uncomfortable. That's when the IC is trained in that manner. And the external member is also there. So from the external member side, there is no soft corner for anybody.
So then the biasness is.
Yes. Any more questions?
This act is only applicable on the workspace or
So if you're working, so you said you're in an internship with Trident BKC,
yeah.
right? You're here today. Maybe you've been sent from your organization out here. It can be. So you may go to some place for work purposes and there you have attended. If something happens here, you are guided by the law of your organization, the POSH policy of your organization. Irrespective, tomorrow you go to Delhi for work purposes. Still, under the POSH policy of Trident BKC, you will still be covered.
What he means is that this is only covered within workplace, not
So-
outside workplace. That's what he
So outside workplace is your personal space. This is for workplace only.
Excuse me.
This
This is internal analysis. Whatever happens, you interrogate both or whatever the culprit. Whether culprit yes or no, that you will analyze.
Yeah.
Okay, it's proven he is the culprit. You find that he is the culprit.
Yeah.
Then what?
So, as per the law, the punishments that are there, first is if say I am found guilty, I'll be demoted from my existing role position. I may be suspended. If there is a medical expense that has happened because of my behavior, so the expenses are given from my salary, I may be terminated.
But there is no punishment.
This is the punishment as per law. But say if say in case of Jason and me, he's done a complaint, I am proven guilty. Okay, now the management says this, and the highest thing here is termination. Jason says, "Oh no, I am not happy with this. She deserves more." He has got the right to go to the police and file an FIR. But the police will come to you. Where is your documentation? What actions did you take from a company point of view? So all your incident reporting, everything needs to be in place.
So can this POSH committee minutes or report are they valid in the court?
Yeah.
They are valid in the
Yeah,
court as well?
it is a civil law. POSH policy or POSH law, it's a civil law. It is valid. Many times what we've seen is the IC committee, because they have the pressure from the management now, they don't take any action. They don't take any action. नहीं चलता है जाने दो, we'll have to, the management also puts the pressure. But what we don't realize is nowadays digital people just go on digital. This is what has happened to me and this is what the company is doing with all the proof. So it's better that we do take care of all the documentation in place, because see, the person who wants to cause some harm to the company will do whatever it takes.
Come next year. So as you said, termination is the last
Yeah.
stage where you terminate the person. Now after terminating, he goes to another organization, acts the same.
Yeah.
So there is the, of course, जो जैसा है उसको तो हम बदल नहीं सकते. और दूसरी कंपनी जाएगा, फिर वो भी same thing, he will do the same thing. Again, he will be terminated from there. He knows that termination is the
Correct.
last thing.
Correct.
He has some skill, he gets a job.
Sure.
But do we issue a letter in our work, like you require, right?
Correct.
What is your past experience?
Yeah.
References.
So references. In references, do we mention that there was a particular inquiry,
Sure.
POSH inquiry done on this person?
Sure.
So that he is more careful. Otherwise, he'll go on
Sure.
playing.
Valid point. Valid point. Thank you so much for highlighting that. So, in such cases, so if you take the particular example of the person who's got this habit, right? You know that this person वो वहाँ जाके भी कुछ ना कुछ करेगा.
Basically, they are
Serial offenders.
Correct.
Or
Serial offenders. So earlier, the HRs would take a reference of only the previous company. Nowadays, the HRs goes up to level 5. Knowing the behavior, it's not, see, hard skills people know looking at your resume. It is the soft skills that people do not know. So they take that references and they not only talk to HRs, they talk to their employees. They take that there are agencies who can take out numbers of your employee and they talk and they ask how is the person's behavior. A lot many organizations are now looking at not only the hard skills are the technical skills. Okay, how was he, did he perform, he or she performed well or not. No, they ask how is the person, is the person a team player, what has been the behavior. Those are the kind of reference checks now people do go up to level 5. Level 5 मतलब उसका start of the career भी हो सकता है. So that is there, and then it's up to you. A lot many time when you are found guilty also, the company says यार तुम resign कर दो. Let's not take this further. तुम resign करो, तुम जाओ, we will give you a releasing letter, ताकि उसका career खराब ना हो.
But most of the time companies do not want to highlight these issues.
They don't.
They will not even want to put this across to the next company because they need to save their own name.
So that is why.
By the time this gets covered and it gets buried and that person becomes a serial offender.
So that's why now reference checks are done by third party.
Very true.
It's not done by your HR.
I was coming to that actually.
So you get a neutral.
Yes.
Thomas, related to our trade, there was a CEO from Delhi on a flight who had a problem with a lady traveler. And finally he's doing something of his own because nobody's willing to hire him. And Quest was the company that flagged him off 3 times.
Yeah.
Quest. First Services is the company that flagged him off 3 times saying that he's the guy who was on the flight and he harassed a lady who complained as she got off the airport.
And
So
nowadays,
it's difficult.
So nowadays people do not want people who will spoil the environment of the company. You can get a good resource on the technical side, or who can do the job. But what if a person who spoils the entire culture of the company? You've put in so many years to build something. One person coming and spoiling it, rather not take him. कि नहीं जाने दो. And see, it's a very small industry. Whatever you say in your circle, people will go in that circle only. They will not go to another country. बहुत कम जाते हैं. So that the industry circle is really small. Wherever anybody jumps, you know your team member has gone somewhere, right?
Alright. So with no more questions?
No.
Okay, then put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Shivkala Leela Sukumaran. Thank you for your time. And as a token of our appreciation, can I request Padma Shri Dr. Mukesh Batra, our president, to please come up and serve to the honors. Amit?
Hi.
Thank you so much.
Doc-
So receiving a Padma Shri is there on my
Vision board.
vision board.
Not far away.
Yeah,
Used to get close to one.
yeah. So I've reached till the UN level though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Doc, can I request you to please stay there?
Okay.
Salil, General Manager of Sahara Hotel, can you please come forward and
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
okay. Salil, please stay back. Salil, stay back.
Everybody in the picture.
Everybody.
Happy New Year and warm welcome to everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.